Dear Shrestha viewers, good morning. Welcome back to the channel Shrestha Gnanadayini. In the last class, we were discussing about the nature of business economics. How many of you remember? Can any one of you discuss the points which we were discussing in the last class? Anybody? Comment and let me know. In this class, we are going to see the scope of business economics. Firstly, tell me what's the meaning of scope? We have heard this word many times. Yes? Scope means the extent. To what extent is this particular topic is actually helpful? So, in this context about business economics, we are going to see how the business economics is playing a vital role in designing the firm and its decisions. So without no late, let's go into the video. But before starting the topic, as we always will have the surprises, even this time I have something great for you. You know what's that? Many students were commenting me and mailing me that, ma'am, can you please provide us the notes for this topic? Yes, absolutely. In this class, there is a very best thing for you which I have prepared. That's scope of business economics. I have detailed each and every point in a clear format. Please stay till the end of the video to view the answer. This is very helpful for your examinations, isn't it? You will have a clear idea of how to attempt this answer to get full marks. So let's start. The scope of business economics deals with the following aspects. Let's see what are they. Yes. Firstly, objectives of the firm. Firstly, tell me what's the firm? It has many synonyms, right? It can be called as a concern, a business unit, etc. So, when starting, every firm has its own definitions and objectives. Then, think, why is business economics here? It's here to guide a business firm, a business manager in building his or its own objectives. Like how? In short term, in long run. Now you might think, what is the short run and long run? Yes, let me clear you. Short term examples are sales, demands, profits. But as long term, what can we tell? It's goodwill and millionaires, like how they want to success their business and get the reputation in the market. Do you agree with me? Yes? I hope you understood what is objectives of the firm. Now let's move on to the second thing, resource allocation. Now what do you mean by this resource allocation? Resource is a thing which is used as a part of business. It can be a paper, a book, internet, or any kind of resource. And what do you mean by allocation? Allocation is nothing but arranging the resources and using it properly and getting the huge amount of output. So here, how this business economics is playing its role? It's playing its role by exploring and giving different methods. It enables us to explore the methods that are essential in making effective allocation of resources. Isn't it? Yes or no? And why is it helping us? Its aim is to achieve high outputs with limited resources. Now, what are these limited resources? anything which is very scarce and very useful. Like these days we can say natural resources, we get electricity, we get power, etc. But in the same time, natural resources are very precious and we need to protect them. And what are the other two examples? Can anybody tell? That's paper and internet. Of course, you might think natural resources covers everything, but why this paper and internet is again separately mentioned? So, if the business, the main thing or the resources in the business needed are natural resources, then it is a very precious resource. In the same way, where a paper industry, paper is precious, and many software companies runs with internet. So instead of wasting it for any other purpose, if you use this internet, we can succeed with many more things. Yes or no? Yes. So I hope you're clear with the second point called resource allocation. Now let's move on to the third point called demand analysis and forecasting. Now what is this demand and what is this forecasting? Like you might have heard this time many times, forecasting. Forecasting is nothing but seeing forth, which means for the future. Like we have weather forecast, in the same way we also forecast the demand that a product has. Yes? So again here, how this business economics helps us in this demand analysis and forecasting. How? This demand analysis and forecasting will provide us some techniques which are very useful in making analysis to provide the efficiency for meeting competition between the businesses and suggest the methodology for analyzing the demand of the product. Yes? In order to study how the demand works and how it sustains in the market, this is very important and it will provide that methods which are useful in demand analysis and forecasting. Are you clear with the third term called demand analysis and forecasting, children? Next, coming to competitive analysis. Now, what do you mean by competitive analysis? What is competitive analysis actually? Anybody can tell this? See, if there are two parties leading, then we will have a competition between them. If it is single and a nominal thing, we don't need a competition. But as we know, for everything there is a marketing situation. Yes? So in order to sustain, to compete and to withstand in that competition, that business manager, that entrepreneur needs some essential techniques and methods, and that will be provided by business economics as its scope. Yes, by exploring the methods of business economics, one can withstand in this competitive situation. Now, next coming point is strategic planning. What is the strategic planning? Business runs with many strategies, with many plans, with many ideas. Without a strategy, how can they succeed? They need many important methods and techniques to make strategies and in order to succeed in that. Tell me one example of strategy. For example, let's take any upcoming situation in this businesses. May think like a company is going to deal a very prestigious project ahead. So, in order to win that deal, how a company makes its own strategies, like impressing the deal owners with their previous projects by giving them various reasons why they need to choose this organization to work on that project. These all are the strategies which the organization plays. Exactly to win that strategies, to learn that methods, we need the help of business economics, and because it is futuristic, we call it as scope of business economics. Clear, students? Now let's move on to the next point, production management. Now, what is this production management? Production, this term tells us easily that it's related to the goods and services or the materials of this business unit. How one has to take care of this production management in that firm. How one have to make the decisions, how one have to buy the stocks, how one have to process it, and how to get a large amount of outputs, and how to produce the stock, etc. A to Z will be under this department. I guess you have read about many types of goods like capital goods, intermediary goods, and finished goods. Now let me tell you once, even if you know, capital goods are those in the first stage of production, like iron, metal, we can say even the gold, etc. Now then, what is the help of this? Can you directly take the iron? No. Can you directly use the gold? No. Can you at least use the metal directly? No. It has to be processed and brought into a clear form and should be named with a particular thing in order to use it. Gold can be changed into an ornament and iron can be changed into a stool, a windows pane, the windows when we use it, right? And also the metal, we use it in many things. Yes? So these are the capital goods which are at the first stage of production, and then coming the next stage is called intermediary goods. Now what are these? These goods are also called as semi-finished goods because it is in the second step. Here we say gold in the first step is not actually a gold. It is mined from underground and it's bought, and you know how it looks. Now it is turned in intermediary stage into the pure gold. We can see the form. And now the third stage is the final form of that product, which means we can change it into any form, either an ornament, either a thing, either a statue, anything can be made of it. So everything comes under production management. Agreed? Clear? Let's see the cost analysis now. Then what is this cost analysis? We have heard objectives of the firm, competitive analysis, strategic planning. Now, what is this cost analysis? Once after the product has been produced, a product is ready. Do you think is that easy to price a product? Product pricing, branding, etc. So here the analysis to be made on the product and the pricing strategies. Here the cost analysis will tell like how much cost incurred, how much have to be maintained, how to take the decisions regarding how much cost to be incurred, etc. can be learnt in cost analysis. Like for any amount of production of goods, actually how much amount of the cost is needed and how much can be bared by a firm. This decision has to be made very clearly, or else it again goes into waste. Yes? So that's called cost analysis, and business economics provides us that techniques to learn how to analyze the cost and the income through that. Next coming, pricing strategies. As I told you, pricing is not that easy. We need some training, some methods, some methodologies that is again provided by business economics under its scope. What actually called as price? If you have to fix a price for your product, how you're going to price it? You will add the amount of resources you have incurred, the cost and your effort. Yes, and it has some policies and strategies according to which you're going to price. And it also depends upon the marketing situation as well. Now you might think everyone will incur the same cost, then why is the same product price is varied in the market? So it is also depends on the marketing situation. That's what is the next point of us, like market structure analysis. Now you know how the market is classified. You know what is a market? It's not the one which we think that fruit market or vegetable market. It's about for everything there is a marketing situation. If you take job, it is job market, and if you talk about shares or stock, we say it is stock market, share market, where all the information and the resources regarding it are available. Now market structure analysis. Now what is this market structure analysis? Do you think only there is one organization in this whole world? Do you think there is only one firm who is running successfully and it don't have any competence? Of course not. As we said, it is market. We have many people around us. And how does it form actually? What is this market? And we have to analyze that. In order to withstand for several years of time in the market in the top position, we need to actually understand what's a market structure. Yes, why is it called a market, and where, what, how it is done? That is very, very essential, and those essential methods and techniques are provided by business economics and its scope. Now, why am I stressing too much on every topic? We are coming across a term called techniques, methodologies, methods, ideologies. These are nothing but the techniques, some important points, some crucial things. We can say it as an internal confidential things, like we have to learn and we have to use it. And next coming, investment and capital budgeting decisions. Now here comes the opportunity cost. How to use and make the important decisions. How to make an investment. The businessman or an entrepreneur has to know, a business manager has to know how much capital to be introduced into the firm and how much to invest. Ideas are on the top floor and investment is on the down floor. Does it works? Obviously not. So, in order to succeed, the level of investment is equals to level of profit. We know this very easily and very clearly. So, a businessman, a business manager has to take very careful steps in order to make investment and to make budget decisions. Now, what is this budget? The amount of capital we have and how to invest it and how to properly utilize the allotted capital for the business, how to budget, how to control it. We know we have many kinds of expenses once we enter the business, knowingly or unknowingly, necessarily or unnecessarily. We have to incur many things like paying the debts, paying the expenses, etc. Expenses are like rent, electricity, transportation, wages, salaries, etc. So, in order to see if a businessman has to invest in a business, then he has to think long forward, like till at least 10 years of his time, how much cost he's going to incur and going to be the top in the business. And now next coming is the marketing strategies. As we already told before in that marketing structure analysis, here we are going to study what is marketing strategies. What is marketing strategies? We have studied and analyzed what is market structure, how it looks, how it functions. Now, marketing strategies is nothing but if there are two companies dealing with the same kind of services or same kinds of products, there exists a competition. Yes, let's take an ad agency. Then, what is the main thing in an ad agency? To produce ads with the lowest budget. And those are very confidential, and if it is revealed between any other firm, then they are going to win the deal, and that is not at all good to this firm. And there are many other things, even like a stock market, etc. We have to analyze the marketing strategies as well, how to move the strategies, how to plan. It's really like a big chess game. Yes. So, in order to suspect what are the further moves of that next person ahead in that firm, and in order to make that decisions in this firm, etc. Sometimes people are very talented and make many decisions according to the situations. Yes. So, these strategies and techniques are dealt and explained to a businessman by business economics. Yes. And next comes, last but not the least, profit management. Profit is the ultimate thing, what a business wins every year, every month, and every second. Now, how to manage that profit is also a big deal. Don't you think so? So, how, in order to maintain a proper structure and how to manage the profit is a very big thing. Profit is very important, and how, in order to sustain and how to use it is also very important. Like, maybe it can be used again for the further purpose of the company, or else it can be distributed between the partners, and few organizations can also use it for public welfare as well, a part of it. So this is again another important concept which is dealt by business economics and its scope. Now the most awaited time is here. Now I am going to show you the complete answer and its notes. So look at it, and you can even make the note of the points. I'll show you very clearly. You may note the points and prepare it. I hope this video is very helpful for you.